Hello, Mermaid Fantasy Footballers. Welcome to episode 2 of the Mermaid Pool Spa and Patio Fantasy Football Podcast. This is your commissioner along with Evan Baker, one of the managers of the league. We hope everybody listened to the first podcast and enjoyed it thoroughly. Today we've got a lot to talk about, as I think Evan's still trying to recover from the draft last night. You fully recovered yet?
Oh, lots of Diet Cokes last night. Lots of Diet Cokes. Maybe you one too many?
Did you have to have like a 6-pack ready the whole time, so that way you didn't leave the computer?
Well, yeah. I mean, as Diet Coke is for every occasion, and especially this occasion. So make sure I was well stocked.
Well, I can tell by the way you drafted that you were nice and sober. So unlike a couple other managers in the league. So you want to just jump right on in and take a look, or let's start from prior to the draft. This year was a little different. We had a big trade happen with draft picks, never been done before, and we also had a manager broadcasting his pick before the draft even started, with Blair Lynch throwing out that he was taking Zeke Elliott at 6. How did you feel about that?
Yeah, it was weird. This whole year so far has been very weird. It's got, before the draft day trade and all that was huge. And the whole time it was going on, I was regretting it because it felt like forever. I mean, I know the 2 top 10 picks are good, but I guess I'm just more reliant on those now. And now you, on the other hand, didn't get a first-round pick this year.
I did not.
So your bell cow, your linchpin, is Jay Ajayi.
Yes. Ride that dolphin all the way to a championship.
Yikes.
Not so much?
I mean, I don't know. We'll get to all the individual picks and everything, but just from the perspective of, once you make a trade like that, there's no mock drafting, there's nothing along those lines.
It's hard to get a feel how that draft's going to go until it actually starts.
And with our league anyways being 6 points, it's just, for quarterback touchdowns, it just doesn't, it's hard to mock draft anyways.
Well, and even with that, so Blair puts out that he's taking Zeke at 6, which obviously everybody in the league knew that Zeke was not going to get out of the first round. Right. Someone was going to take him, right. And everybody was betting that Adam Freeman, sitting at 7 and 11, was probably going to take him at 7.
Right.
And so Blair threw it out there. Obviously, Blair did not make a trade. He took Zeke. Adam did not get Zeke. But before the draft had started, about 5 minutes prior to the draft, there was still even talk on my back channel of a trade happening. So there was a lot of action going on.
There was a lot of action. I feel like people were a lot more open to the idea of trading. And just think about the timing of our draft. If it had been last week,
yep,
Zeke would have gone in the 3rd round or
yep,
second round, late second round or whatever. And now here he's back up to the top 10 pick that he should have been.
Well, and he would have been a top 3 pick if he's not suspended.
Exactly.
Easily.
And so
technically Blair got a steal, possibly.
Yeah. He flipped so much as far as like starting out so high, then dropping so low, then back up to being high, and who knows, he's probably high right now.
Yeah, right. Yeah. He did admit on record that he did drugs at Ohio State, so
that was a shocker. Everybody was surprised by that. So
I'm just glad Adam didn't name his firstborn Zeke. So good job on the Witten. So round 1 pretty much kind of went how we expected it to go. 1 through 5 went pretty chalk. Zeke went 6. We all knew that. Beckham Jr., Devontae Freeman, Jordan Howard. I mean, he slipped into the top 10, but Mike Evans rounded it out. Nothing too crazy. Round 2, Blair took Tom Brady, first quarterback off the board, which was a little surprising, but not because Blair loves Tom Brady.
Yeah. Yes, he does. So, first off, back in round 1, Jeff going LaShawn McCoy at 5.
Quickly, too. I mean, he was...
Yeah, it was not... There was no hesitation.
No.
So I'll be interested to find out whether LaShawn McCoy was the guy he wanted at 5, or...
I think he was just hoping that
I think we knew Kyle was going to take Julio.
Yep.
And I thought if Odell Beckham didn't get hurt, then there was a chance that Lewis took Odell Beckham over Antonio Brown.
If Julio would have been on the board at 7, the draft would have been paused and the trade would have happened. Without a doubt. I was trading just back into the number 7 spot. But luckily, I did not have to make that decision. So,
yeah. And
thank you, Kyle, for lessening my pain.
we knew Kyle was going with Julio.
Kyle was going with Julio, no doubt.
Yeah. Kyle rode that train last year to, fantasy football second place?
I believe
Runner-up?
so. Game of Jones.
Silver medal.
Do you think Scott in the first 2 rounds was probably the most disappointed GM drafting? At number 9, he had to settle for Jordan Howard over Devontae Freeman, 1 pick prior, and in round 2 had to settle for Melvin Gordon over AJ Green, 1 pick prior.
Exactly. It was almost like that commercial where it was like, "Oh, I got your dollar. I caught your dollar. Oh, we got to be faster than that."
Yeah, he missed out on those dollars. They are
exactly.
dollars.
So I don't know. I felt so. Second round is when things started to get a little more interesting.
Into the second, I would say, is when things kind of started to take some shape.
Yeah, it's kind of when those, you've got the top 15 are studs. They're all going to be good and they're all going to produce.
I got one of them, thank you.
And so, well, let's say top 13.
And then I got none of them.
So we knew. So I think Jordan had a great value pick at Jordy Nelson at 13.
Yep.
I'm not sure on Leonard Fournette. It's so hard for me to.
I thought he was going to
rookies.
I thought he was going to drop lower. I really did, but I was kind of shocked when he went that high. But I mean, I could see it. I mean, he's in a division that doesn't have great rushing defense and
a weak division.
He's the man.
He's the man. It's not going to be any Chris Ivory's not stealing any of his carries or anything like that. So I feel like that was okay, but I think at playoff time, if he hits that rookie wall,
could be hurt.
Then that could be detrimental.
So let's see, round three, the biggest name that kind of pops out was that going into this, I thought Blair was going to take Gronkowski in the second round. Gronk falls to round 3, and 1 pick prior to Blair, Jeff takes him at 25, which was a good. I mean, he fell a little bit.
Great value.
Yeah.
That's so he's the one that everybody is saying right now. Oh, don't draft him. Don't draft him. You're never. But that's because you have to get him normally in like first or second round.
Yeah.
So at 25, I think that's a good value. He's the clear number 1 tight end in the league if he stays healthy.
Yeah, if he stays healthy. Well, and then that's when that kind of starts the quarterback shuffle in our draft. Always kind of throws everybody for a loop. When does that first quarterback get taken, and then how quickly do the dominoes fall? And so Brady goes round 2, Aaron Rodgers goes to round 3, thankfully, and then round 4. Then you start seeing quarterbacks start coming off the board with Matt Ryan and Drew Brees.
Yeah, and I was kind of a little surprised. The way normally it works is the first round goes by and nobody takes a quarterback. Second round goes by and maybe the end of it somebody takes a quarterback, and then the late second, early third, that's when there's like 4 of them going. And this year was kind of a little different in the sense that Brady went, and then 12 picks later, Rodgers went. And then even that 5 picks later, 6 picks later, Ryan and Drew Brees went. And I don't know. It's Drew Brees is always going to be a chucker. He's always going to throw the ball try to get 5,000 yards and all that. But I mean, with these years, these quarterbacks, Tom Brady or Drew Brees, they're going to turn into Vinny Testaverde and just start throwing interceptions. And I just don't want to have him that year. I thought Matt Ryan. I think he's got Julio Jones, so you can count on at least.
Well, Jordan's hoping that Matt Ryan keeps throwing the ball to Devontae Freeman since he has both of them. So he's hoping for a lot of screen passes this year.
And Tevin Coleman.
I wonder if he's going to play all 3 of them at the same time.
That would be depends on if they're first half of the Super Bowl or fourth quarter of the Super Bowl. Atlanta Falcons.
I would love to see him put Matt Ryan and the 2 running backs in and beat someone, as long as it's not me.
Exactly. So we'll see when he plays Scott. We'll have him start that.
So round 5, I mean, I think round 4 and 5 go pretty much, nothing really jumps out. We get into round 6, and that's when the start of round 6, things start to get a little questionable. You know, Alshon Jeffrey drops to 51. He was ranked like 28, 29,
yeah.
and he dropped to 51. And I was sitting there, and I went from 39 to 54 picking, and at 39 I had to do a running back, but at 54 I was just watching him drop and drop, and I'm thinking, come on Jeffrey, come on you idiots, keep passing, you know. I mean, it's a good value pick. I mean, maybe he turns into a dud, but I mean, at 51 you gotta take him.
Yeah, it's not. I don't feel like it's good value. It's really good value, and that's what. Isn't that what Matthew Berry says? It's all about minimizing risk and trying to get maximum value out of it.
And then one pick later, Scott does a big reach, and
the exact opposite of the Alshon Jeffrey.
Drafts Derek Carr. Now, I get if you like him, draft him.
Yep.
Draft him where you think you're going to get him.
Exactly.
But man, he was. I thought he was like ranked number 12. He could have got him like 4 rounds later the way the quarterback shaked out.
Yep.
He must really like Derek Carr this year.
And then Nate with the Ben Roethlisberger pick at 60 at the end of the round.
Yeah, I don't. Maybe those two. Maybe Nate and Scott. Maybe Muncie had a little glitch in their power, and they thought, you know, those 5 through 8 quarterbacks were already off the board, and that they had to take them.
Yeah, I don't. Ben Roethlisberger.
He was going to retire last year.
Yeah, I don't know. I get that he and Eli Manning are still in that 2004 draft class. They're still going strong-ish, but
Nate did draft Adrian Peterson to start the 7th round, so maybe he's drafting, you know, 5 or 6 years ago with younger Roethlisberger and Peterson. That's a good strategy, but
pre-child abuse, Peterson
didn't work out for the Bulls last year, so
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, what are you gonna do?
So everything else from there, I mean, Allen Robinson dropped a little bit. I mean, I think Scott got a decent pick there. I mean, it's a good shot at a guy who could perform. But
you getting a starting running back in C.J. Anderson at 67.
Yes, but there's a lot of. I mean, there's when you get to round 6 and 7, those running backs. I mean, now you're just taking, you know, throwing some darts. You're hoping. I mean, C.J. Anderson went 3 picks in front of Terrence West, and 6 picks in front of Doug Martin. Who knows? I mean, you just don't know what's going to happen. You take a guy that you hope that you like and hope for the best.
Yeah, and this year in round 8 almost caused me to have to break my no Patriots rule. And I really was gonna go after Chris Hogan. I think he's gonna be a really good player now that Edelman's done. And I just Amendola and Chris Hogan.
Did Blair reach for him? Was he right around that time, or did he make a move up?
I think he reached a little, but I think I don't know if I'd call it a reach, because I think he's going to be worth it, and so I think it's okay to. I think that maybe he's a little undervalued would be more of a better term than reaching for it. But like all those people, I think that's really good value for Stephon Diggs, Jeremy Maclin.
Those are all starting wide receivers right there.
Yeah.
I mean, everything, I don't think anybody went too crazy. I mean, there were a couple picks in there that we were kind of like, what? I mean, I know my drafting ability was called into question a couple times.
By who?
I don't remember exactly who it was. I took 2 defenses before I took a tight end, so
that's a bold strategy, Cotton.
I don't know if that's gonna. I don't think that one's gonna pay off. Do you think this year you can play defense in your flex?
I think you should be able to.
Okay. Well, we're not changing it now because I found out that you cannot add spots or change spots after the league is drafted unless you want to manually enter them in. So the league is set. Anybody else jump out at you in that round 11, 10, 11, 12?
Mariota.
Yeah.
I got a star by Mariota's name. I think that'll be.
I like him, and Kyle got him as his number 1 quarterback in round 10. I mean, that's good value.
All right, we're gonna take a quick Mermaid Pool Spa and Patio sponsored break here, and then we'll be right back in just 1 second. All right, and welcome back to the podcast. We are broadcasting live from the Mermaid Pool Spa and Patio radio station booth here, and
we had some technical difficulties, so we apologize. The last Mermaid ad did not run. We'll keep working on that.
Yeah, it's a work in progress. So we wanted to come back and finish up with, or talk about the teams, the individual teams, how they all panned out, and go over some bold predictions for each team. So, Mark, let's start with ourselves.
Okay.
I'm going to let you take care of your division. I'm going to take care of my division. And then, so give me your bold prediction for your team.
For my team, this is a tough one. I'm going to predict that... Oh, I'm gonna have to think about this one a little bit.
Okay.
Now I'm gonna predict that neither of my running backs that I have on my team at the beginning of the year, Ajayi, Cook, and a bunch of other scrubs, I'm gonna say that none of them are starting for my team at the end of the year, the last 2 weeks of the season.
Oh, that's.
Hopefully that's because I found some, waiver wire gems and that they're just... I can't not play them. But that's going to be my bold prediction for my team. That's just how I just have a feeling this year that my running backs are going to let me down.
Would you have any problems benching Jay Ajayi if you had two people that you, like, really good matchups that you thought, oh, that's going to be...
No, I'd bench him in a heartbeat. I mean...
He's your number one pick at 14.
I took C.J. Anderson a couple years ago, and I let him go in, like, the 4th week of the season.
So
if you don't produce, you're gone.
That's right. What have you done for me lately?
Exactly.
So your team is really strong at quarterback and defense.
My team is very strong at defense.
You're relying purely on your fantasy football defense.
I'm hoping that I can hold my opponents to low scores.
All your players have big play potential. Aaron Rodgers, Jay Ajayi, Dalvin Cook, Doug Baldwin, Brandon Cooks can all
swing for the fences.
Randall Cobb. I mean, you've just got some big play potential. Andrew Luck, whether you play him over Rodgers or whatever you turn him into, when it's time to flip him.
He is available to flip anytime. If anybody would like to make a trade.
Yeah. My big prediction here is that... Oh my gosh, I may just not have any of my players at all.
May not have any of your players at the end of the year?
No. I don't know what's going to happen with all this, but this is a jumbled mess. I hope, I don't know. I think, I didn't like Russell Wilson. Everybody's okay with him, and I'm okay with him. I just don't want to root for him.
I know why you don't like him, but I think he's going to have a big year, and I think going into this, I was targeting Russell Wilson, so I think he's going to have a big year. But now that he's not on my team, I hope he has a sucky year.
He can be on your team.
Do you want to trade him for Andrew Luck right now? Okay.
No, not right now.
Andrew Luck for Russell Wilson. Straight up.
Hard pass. So I think my big prediction for me is that Le'Veon Bell is going to win the MVP.
Ooh.
Of the league.
Of the league?
He is playing to get paid.
Wow.
He wants to be paid.
He just got paid. He signed a $12 million piece of paper.
1 year. He wants to be paid. He wants to be the highest paid player. He wants to be paid like a wide receiver and a running back. That's what I'm going with. Le'Veon Bell plays himself into NFL MVP, or at least Offensive Player of the Year.
Did Nate make a mistake drafting David Johnson first?
I don't think you go wrong either way. Nate told me that his computer wouldn't load, and so he auto-picked David Johnson.
Yeah. There's a couple auto-pickers in this draft I'm not sure about.
So, so let's bounce to the next bold prediction.
All right, let's go to Jeff's team, Victorious Money. My bold prediction for his team, I kind of like his team and I kind of don't like his team. My bold prediction is that he does not make the final 6 playoff teams. He is out of the playoffs.
Ooh, for
out.
Jeff.
Yep, I say he's out. I say McCoy gets hurt early in the season because the whole team's on his shoulders. Kirk Cousins has it down here. Marshawn Lynch, at 40 years old is broken. Brandon Marshall's old. I mean, I think Rob Gronkowski may be outscore all the other players on his team at some point. Blair's probably going to finagle a trade from him and get him for nothing. I think Jeff's out of the playoffs this year.
Jeff, that would be a bold prediction. Jeff always is really good. He's got great value in all of his picks. You got Kirk Cousins at a contract year too. He wants to get paid.
I like it. I think this year,
Marshawn Lynch.
if we were doing a study on fantasy football and kryptonite of fantasy football, I think newlyweds. This could hurt Jeff. He's always played as a single young fellow. This year he's married, and I just think that he's not going to have the magic that he normally has. He's putting his magic elsewhere.
Okay, moving along.
Saving lives.
Saving lives. Exactly. Creating them.
Is he a gynecologist? He's a surgeon.
I don't know. Whatever. Okay. So, moving right along to the GOAT, Blair Lynch.
Oh.
My bold prediction for Blair's team is that Tom Brady is not his starting quarterback by the playoffs, by week 14.
Do you think he's giving up on him? Or do you think he's trading him?
I think Tom Brady is Phillip Rivers gets hot, or Tom Brady gets hurt, or something like that. But I don't think that Blair is playing Tom Brady in week 14, 15, 16.
Do you think because he didn't get the Gronk-Brady connection that he's just, soured on it?
Maybe the Patriots are 14-0 or 13-1, and they've already got everything locked up. And
maybe he finds some different QB tight end magic with Alex Smith and Travis Kelce.
Oh, exactly. So who knows? Okay, here's your next bold prediction.
My next team that I'm looking at is Lewis Brown. I kind of like Lewis's team. My bold prediction on Lewis is I think I just said Jeff wasn't going to make the playoffs. I'm going to say Lewis doesn't make the playoffs either, but I think he's got Antonio Brown and Todd Gurley and Eifert. I think his highest scoring player on his team at the end of the season is not quarterback. It's Michael Crabtree. I think Brown has. I think
he's old.
Now he is old, but he catches a lot of passes. I think he's going to do good.
Derek Carr throws the ball a ton.
I don't think he's going to make the playoffs either. I mean, unless Lewis, he gets lucky sometimes. In that year he won it. He caught a hot streak and rode it to the end. But I think his players are going to come out of the gate early, and he's going to do well, and he's going to shoot himself in the foot with a trade or two, and then he doesn't have anybody to fall back on that he normally does. No AJ Green, no Joe Flacco. Joe Flacco's not on this team. He picked Jay Cutler. I think his mojo's all out of whack.
Is there really that much of a difference between Joe Flacco and Jay Cutler? Big arms, tons of interceptions.
Maybe that's why he didn't pick Joe Flacco, because the last couple years he took him, he didn't make the playoffs.
Who knows? So, my bold prediction here, we're going to move on to Jordan, looking at his team, he has a lot of
Falcons.
Falcons, and top 5 positional players, or top 7, let's say. He's got Jordy Nelson was the number 1 receiver last year. Justin Tucker was the number 2 kicker. The Broncos defense was number 4. Kyle Rudolph was number 4. Devonta Freeman was number 7, and Matt Ryan was a surprise number 3.
Top kicker off the board.
Yeah, in round 13, something like that. Something way too early.
You're the kicker.
Yeah. I think my bold prediction is going to be that Matt Ryan has a Super Bowl hangover and that he does not finish in the top 10 of quarterbacks, of fantasy quarterbacks.
I like that prediction.
So, Jordan.
Sorry, Julio. Love you, but QB's a bum.
You're just lowering. Julio's just having his value lowered next year so Mark can get him at 14. Okay, who's your next one?
All right, my next one is Scott Murr.
Oh, yeah.
The infamous auto-drafter of the league. He only auto-drafted, 4 picks? 1 pick he claimed was auto-drafted for him because he lost power, even though I don't know how when your power at your house goes out, how your cell phone turns off too. But he was auto-drafted Demaryius Thomas. My bold prediction is that Scott wins the league this year.
That is a bold prediction.
Jordan Howard, Melvin Gordon, 2 workhorses at running back. He's got
a stable of running backs.
He's got a stable of running backs. Derek Carr, I think that's the key. If Derek Carr has a good year, Pryor, Demaryius Thomas, Larry Fitzgerald, those guys I think can easily carry him. It just depends on what he does during the season. If he gets how many people finagle him on trades. He told me today that he is not listening to all of our BS that we feed him this year. So I don't know. I don't know if he's going to Scott himself and have
Scotting himself. I like that term. We're gonna keep that term.
If he Scots himself, he's gonna have a couple weeks where he just makes dumb roster moves.
Yes,
like leaving a Kirk Cousins on his bench like twice when he goes for 50 points. But I think if he makes the right plays this year, I'm saying he's gonna win it all.
Wow. That's the boldest of bold.
Maybe the boldest prediction of all time.
And we are going to revisit these at the end of the season when we come back to it.
Yes.
So a guy I think had a pretty well-rounded draft is Adam. He drafted Odell Beckham at 7. Then he got A.J. Green at 11. He's got Terrence West and Kroll, who are both starting running backs in a tough division, though. And then he's got Drew Brees, who is going to turn to Vinny Testaverde in a couple years. This year, next year, whatever. Jordan Reed can't stay healthy. Got good value to Alshon Jeffrey. My bold prediction is that Adam Freeman takes this division by storm.
Oh,
he's going to win the division.
Really?
Adam Freeman. He's got...
Look at his team right now.
He's got... Just looking at his team... Odell Beckham. He's got A.J. Green. Those are 2 stud receivers. Jordan Reed, when he's healthy, is really good. Number 2 tight end in the league. And then here's where Adam is a little hurt, I think. He needs a better running back, but he also needs a little more depth. He doesn't really have, like, when the bye weeks come around, he's going to get hit hard, I think. I don't know.
Do you think every team's received a trade proposal from Adam already? One day after the draft?
I would be surprised to find out anything else.
Trade talks have already opened up with Adam, so I think Adam is readily shopping his team. But do you think Adam, every year, it seems like he takes his best player through weeks 3 through 4 and trades them like he trades a couple dollars for a couple shiny quarters?
Yeah, I don't know. I just think he's a trader. He likes to trade, and he wants to make sure that he gets. He
definitely needs a running back.
He gets the maximum fun. Trades are the best part of fantasy football.
Trades are fun about fantasy, especially when you can swindle the other person, and they think they didn't get swindled, but you swindled them. You got them good.
He swindled them for sure. Like me with this trade.
You didn't get swindled. You got who? Le'Veon Bell and Mike Evans.
I was going to get Le'Veon Bell anyways.
I got Jay Ajayi and Doug Baldwin. I mean, that's poo-poo platter.
No, you just don't have the names for it yet. So
yet.
Okay.
Don't wait. Just wait. When Marlon Mack takes over for 40-year-old Frank Gore, you guys are going to be sorry you didn't pick him.
What is your prediction for Nate the Great Simpson?
My bold prediction for Nate the Great Simpson. He had some good picks, and then he had some really bad picks. Like, what was with all the Titans in the middle of the draft? It was like he couldn't take enough Titans.
Well, we had 4 Titans taken out of 5 picks. It went Mariota, somebody else, and then
Delaney Walker, Rashard Matthews, and Derrick Henry.
Derrick Henry, yeah.
There was like Titan galore. My bold prediction for Nate is by week 6, Roethlisberger is not his starting quarterback, but Andrew Luck is.
You're planting the seeds now. I'm
just saying. I mean, Roethlisberger gonna retire last year. He sucks. Who's his other quarterback? Matt Stafford. He just got paid. He's done.
Yeah.
I mean,
mailing it in.
I'm just saying. I mean, Andrew Luck is just sitting there. He's gonna be in 3 weeks he's going to be refreshed, ready to go. I think he's going to be on this team.
Is it worth keeping Matthew Stafford for that one Thanksgiving Day game that he goes bonkers on every year? That's it.
Well, but Nate won't play him then because he'll have Andrew Luck.
Because he'll have Andrew Luck.
I'm just saying, Nate, just feel out Andrew Luck. I feel like he would fit good on your team. I'm not asking for a lot. I mean, we'll make it fair.
Yeah. This is the year, I think. We discussed this earlier, and we think that maybe Kyle had the best draft.
I agree that Kyle had the best draft, as much as it pains me, and not because of the Julio pick.
And purely because of the Julio pick. So
not because of the Julio pick.
My bold prediction for Kyle is that he had, I would say, a pretty consensus draft, or a pretty consensus top draft. He's got Mariota, Fournette, and Montgomery, which that's going to be serviceable, exactly. But Julio Jones went for 300 yards in a game last year. T.Y. Hilton when Andrew Luck comes back, and DeAndre Hopkins. If DeAndre Hopkins and Montgomery, I think, are going to be the two question marks. But here, I think that he had the best draft.
I think he did too.
So here's my bold prediction.
That he chokes.
Doesn't make the playoffs.
Yes!
Doesn't make the playoffs.
Yes!
He's out. Mostly because I was going to pick O.J. Howard with my next pick, and you took him.
I would agree with that because he took Julio Jones, and I'm just still mad about that.
Dang. All these flavors, and we choose to be salty.
Great team. They're kind of like, would you say that they're kind of like the mid-2000 Colts? Really good on paper, but can't win the big
regular
game.
season.
The regular season teams.
No, I would say Kyle is going to be that team this year that scores a ton of points and always gets like careered on.
Oh.
That's going to be the way it goes. So he's going to score like 2,000 points, and his defense is going to give up like 2,200 points, and he's going to finish.
So he's going to get Evaned every week.
Yeah.
Get careered on.
Yes. So he's going to finish. My record for Kyle, I think he's going to finish somewhere in the neighborhood of
6 and 7,
6 and 7, or 5 and 8, and he's going to not make it in. He's not going to be those final four in that final four. He's not going to get paid.
Kyle, if you don't want to be that guy, I think everybody thinks that you're notorious for being hard to trade with. If you don't want to be that guy, maybe you trade, make some trades
Make
this year.
some moves. You need to upgrade those running backs. I mean,
Don't be afraid
Montgomery
to-
was a wide receiver last year.
Don't be afraid to, sell high, buy low. I mean, you can't ride him into the ground.
That's right. If you want to get rid of Julio Jones, let's work it out, man. I got Mike Evans. We can figure something out here.
I hope my hope to God is that Mariota somehow, I don't wish anybody to get hurt, but he gets dinged up or he plays bad. I don't think he will, but I hope he does. Around week 3 or 4, right when Andrew Luck comes off the bench, and I'm like, hey, you like this shiny Andrew Luck I got? He's brand new out of the package. Let's get him out and play with him a little bit.
Gosh.
That would be huge if he does. So what we've predicted is that the team that we think drafted the best doesn't make the playoffs, and that Scott wins the league.
Yes.
So
those are the epitome of bold predictions.
Have you stopped drinking at all from last night, or are you still drinking?
I'm still drinking.
Good. Me too.
Drank all through work today.
Exactly.
Don't tell Scott. He's not listening anyways.
Scott, if you're listening, it was just a Coke.
Probably. Just a rum and Coke.
So right now we've predicted that Scott makes the playoff. Jeff and Kyle are out. I mean, I'm going to make the playoffs.
Me too. I'm in. I drafted the best team other than Kyle.
Ooh. This is going to be a interesting season. How this shakes up. Do you think any trades go down between now and Thursday?
I don't know. I've got Kareem Hunt, and he is more than on the block. So if anybody wants to talk Kareem Hunt talk,
Andrew Luck?
No.
Not at all?
I need somebody to
shut the door?
Shut the door. Not even close.
You just talked about C.J. Anderson. You want C.J. Anderson?
No, definitely not.
Well, so next time I think we're going to try to get Adam Freeman on to talk about how week 1 games go. Hopefully we have a lot to talk about then, and how teams did and teams didn't do, and kind of get a feeling on how our 3-team trade stacked out, and if we would do it again or if we wouldn't do it again. I think we know how Evan feels on this.
Out.
Were you?
Unless I win the league, then I'm in.
Then you're
Again.
in.
I'll do it again.
Were you getting a little suicidal there when you went from like pick number 10 to pick number 31?
It took forever. I thought, what in the world? And all I could think about was, what did I do? What did I do? What did I do? Well, who knows?
You didn't get Jay
We'll
Giant
see.
and Doug Baldwin.
We'll see in week 13.
No,
if
we'll
I'm
see.
still in it, that it'll be fine.
Week
Or
4 and
it'll
5,
not
we'll
be.
know where some teams die out. Last year our league was all jumbled together. You think that happens this year?
Do
Do you think?
I think there's no way. I mean that. So this is year 7 for our league,
Yes, 8.
and 8 for our league, and it's never been that competitive before. It's never been that close where everybody had a chance the final week.
But last year as well, it felt like in years past, there's always trading that happens, but it always felt like it was between the same people. And sometimes people just didn't trade as much, which, I mean, that's fine. You may like your team. But last year, there was a lot of nickel and diming trading going on. Guys that weren't big studs, that were just depth and role players that people were taking chances on. I think that kind of helped. I mean, everybody was in it last year. I mean, Scott was even in it, and he didn't even try. So, I mean, imagine what happens this year when he tries.
Exactly. Unless you ask him, then he'll tell you he didn't try.
This league is stupid.
This league is stupid.
Did anybody bet on this league is stupid?
Oh, everybody bet on it secretly. They don't know it.
We only got, what, 2 stupids out of it?
Yeah, he did a lot of pre-draft. This is stupid though.
Yeah. Then he just left at the end of the draft.
Yeah. Didn't no goodbye, no nothing.
No, nothing. Just see you later.
So we are around 36 minutes right now. Let's do one more set of predictions. Since it's before the league started, we just had the draft. That's all we've got to do. Let's do the predictions for this week's games.
Okay.
So first matchup is going to be Nate Simpson versus Lewis, and currently, and now these projections aren't right because of everything that we did, or everything that you did to reset the league.
I had to do it.
It's okay.
Evan needed his one spot for IR, which
Need my
I'm
IR
using.
spot.
Thank you.
So Nate Simpson is at Lewis Brown, and now since Lewis lives in Florida, I don't know if they're still going to play the game in Florida or if they're going to relocate to a different stadium or what, but I don't know. Well, I'll be excited to see. So who do you like in that matchup? So
I'm trying to find the matchup on my phone.
Quick preview would be Roethlisberger, David Johnson, DeMarco Murray, Amari Cooper, Devontae Adams versus Cam Newton,
here we
Todd
go.
Gurley, Carlos Hyde, Antonio Brown.
Who you talking about? Kyle?
No. Nate and Lewis.
Nate and Lewis. Okay. Well, my first go-to is who has Monday Night Magic.
Ooh.
Kyle Rudolph versus no one. I'm not looking at the right.
Just a little Monday Night Magic. Vikings defense versus Adrian Peterson.
Is he really going to play Adrian? Oh, he's going to play Adrian Peterson. He's going to go nuts against the Vikings.
Mm-hmm.
He may turn back the clock. He may have 200 yards in that game, but finish the season with like 350.
Yeah.
I'm gonna side with Lucker and the Percy.
I'm going to go with, I think, Nate as well. I think he's got an okay team. I think his quarterback is playing at the Browns, so I think he'll be very serviceable this week.
Plus, it's his first game, so he's
everybody's
not
healthy,
feeling
and he's got Le'Veon back, so I think it'll be fun. I think I'm going with Nate Simpson here.
I think
for
Nate
this one.
Simpson wins.
Okay, let's go to Scott Murr versus Blair Lynch.
Ooh, right off
In
the
week
gate,
1.
we get a grudge match.
You get a grudge match.
Do you think there's going to be any side betting on this?
I think with Ezekiel Elliott suspended, Doug Martin suspended, I think they should just both play their suspended players.
I just think they should both play Doug Martin and Ezekiel Elliott and see which suspended team works out best. Whew, this is a tough one. I mean, I think that if Zeke doesn't play, I think Scott wins it.
The problem is Scott doesn't have anybody to sub in for Doug Martin.
He's got Melvin
he's
Gordon.
got Melvin Gordon.
He's got Melvin Gordon down there.
Yeah, Jordan Howard, Melvin Gordon.
I think Scott demolishes him.
I think Scott rolls him.
I think Tom Brady gets taken out by the Kansas City Chiefs, and it's bittersweet for Blair.
Here's the thing: Blair has 4 members playing on Thursday.
I don't like that.
So we'll know, and Scott has 1.
So we'll know pretty quick.
Both of the defenses. So I think we'll have a good. I think Blair needs to be up 65, 70 points to have a chance.
I think my prediction for Scott winning the year is off to a good start.
I think he starts out 1-0 for sure.
Okay, who do we got next?
We've got Adam at Kyle. Again, another Florida game.
And Adam is favored by 9 so far.
Yeah. Adam's favored by 9. We don't know if Odell, is he hurt? Is he playing?
He's playing.
He didn't practice Monday, but was
He's
spotted
playing.
outdoors.
He's playing.
Who knows?
So,
Jordan Reed, he's probably playing.
I'm going to go with, looking at this, you got Odell Beckham Jr. Oh, you got Drew Brees Monday night at Minnesota. He's playing for his homie, Adrian Peterson.
Mm-hmm. They're going to be handing that ball off a lot to him. Adrian Peterson doesn't really catch screen passes, so.
I'm going to go with Adam. I don't know why, but I'm going with Adam.
Yeah, you know what? This is the perfect game for Kyle to have 100 points and for Adam to have 102.
Yep.
You know?
Adam's got all guys going in like divisional matchups, so. And he's favored by 9 points, so those projections are always wrong.
Oh yeah. All right, Mark.
Oh.
Take me on defending champion.
This is the battle of the previous 2 champions in the league.
That's right. So, what do you? I feel, looking at your matchups, I think this is going to be the toilet bowl of games this week.
I would agree. I have horrible matchups.
Aaron Rodgers over Kirk Cousins, but I think LaShawn McCoy and Marshawn Lynch over your 2 running backs, and I think Doug Baldwin and Brandon Cooks are going to be, if they get loose. Those are big play receivers, and they're banking on those big plays.
I'm -4. I'm betting that neither of our teams scores over 80 points.
Here's the deal. You guys both have Thursday Night Magic. You both have Monday Night Magic. It's all over.
He's got Keenan Allen going
very widespread.
Later Monday night than I do. I don't like that.
Oh, that means you have to stay up until 1 o'clock in the morning to see who wins.
Nope. I don't.
So you need to be up, realistically, 100 yards and a touchdown. So you need to be up 22 points going into
the very last game.
Going into Monday night.
I don't think we score 80 points, but I think you know what? I'm beating Jeff this week.
You're beating Jeff.
You're going down.
This is the beginning of the end for Jeff Whitcomb.
Jeff, I think, just to give you a little help, I heard from my sources that Fat Kelly is going to have a huge game, and so I might put him in over like LaShawn McCoy. Just helping me out, Jeff.
Bold strategy there too. But I like that you're giving advice to Jeff, so he knows who to start. Yeah, exactly. Two-time champion?
Three-time.
Three-time champion?
Oh, 3-time versus 3-time
battle
champion.
of 3-time champions.
Where's Lewis at?
1.
Oh, okay.
Third place.
So,
finally, we've got...
Evan and Jordan.
Evan and Jordan.
Jordan is -5. No. Evan is -5 on this.
-6.
I got -5.
I am projected 107, and he's projected 101.
No, my phone is off.
I think he's got a lot of Monday Night Magic. And I don't have any Monday Night Magic. I'm done at 425 on Sunday. So I think I need to be up. He's got Kyle Rudolph, Mark Ingram, and the Broncos defense.
So you need to be up by...
I need to be up
40 points.
40 to 50 points. Mark Ingram can break him. I would feel comfortable at 50 to 60.
He's playing at Minnesota. Adrian Peterson is going to get all the touches there.
I hope so.
Mark Ingram is not going anywhere near that goal line at all.
Jordan, this could be the week to play Tevin Coleman and Devonta Freeman. They're all at Chicago.
That is true.
So, I don't know. Just saying.
It's helping you out. Yeah. I'm going to go... I'm gonna side with your team, Evan. I'm gonna give you the win on this one.
Ooh, that's what I like to hear, but I don't like to hear it all at the same time.
It's like the kiss of death.
Kiss of death from Mark Hosteller.
My prediction is that This game, I think. Well, I mean, Le'Veon Bell. Obviously, he's a stud. He may put up. You said he's going to be the MVP of the season this first week at Cleveland. I mean, he may be the points leader out of all positions: quarterback, running back, wide receiver, and everybody.
Ooh, that
He may play quarterback and running back in this game.
I think he may get put on a pitch count a little bit because he didn't play the whole preseason. I don't care that Mike Tomlin says he's in great physical shape. I don't care. But I would like to see him go for like 1,000,000 yards.
I don't know if he's going to get quite 1,000,000. If you're going to bet the over, and I'd bet the under.
I'd bet the under on that too.
Okay. So right now we've got Evan is we had what? Nate 1-0. You 1-0. Adam 1-0. Scott 1-0. Jeff 1-0.
No, you.
Me 1-0.
You 1-0.
Yeah, that's right. I'm beating Jeff.
We're
Jeff,
always
sorry.
picking our teams.
You're going down
against these clowns.
We're always picking our teams.
Yeah, we're never betting anybody else this year. So that's it. That's all of the matchups. You feel good about podcast number 2 in the books here?
I feel pretty good, and hopefully our 7 listeners out there are enjoying this and want some more. So I had good feedback from some of the people that text me. So
I did too. Lewis, you need to you need to update your picture.
We need to update some team names in this. So as the commissioner of the league, if you have not changed your team name by week 2, I'm going to change it for you.
Ooh.
So Nate, Jordan, Evan.
I'm on the block.
You're on the block. Blair. Scott, technically you changed your name, but I need a better team name.
Or at least a better picture.
Well, I mean, anything but that. Back for another dumbass season.
I mean,
another dumbass season. At least spell it right.
He probably ran out of letters and he couldn't fit it. But we need a picture or something. I mean,
we need some pictures.
If you're going to do a name like that, you got to do a good picture.
And so we're working on some new segments once the season gets going. Some surprise segments. So hopefully you guys like them. Hopefully they work out and it all works out. So next week we'll have a action-packed week 2, pouring over these box scores and seeing who's an idiot and didn't play so-and-so and who's a genius for playing so-and-so over so-and-so.
Actually, I will need next week because I'll be gone.
So I'm going to need...
So you're going to need a co-host to fill in.
I think...
Big shoes to fill.
I
size 7.5.
I talked to... What are you doing
Women's.
with the other 3 inches? Talked to Adam about being on the being the first guest on the podcast, so we'll see if we can't work that out, because I don't think you guys want to listen to me. If it's just me for half hour, 45 minutes, I'm just going to talk about how great my team is.
Hey, if the shoe fits.
I'm going to lose week 1 now.
Well, we'll see.
We'll see.
A lot of football, but good news is football is back. Finally.
Football is back. Thank God.
Thank God. It's been a long summer. Ready. So, all right. I am Evan Baker.
This is Mark Hosteller.
And we are out.
Suckers.